Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Untalked. Today's topic we have So You Want to Be an Entrepreneur. We're going to discuss all the struggles and the steps you need to take. So we're basically envisioning you being like, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur. What the fuck now? What are we going to do? So we're going to talk about the struggles, the opportunities you have, and the steps to creating your own business.
Exciting.
Sounds exciting, exactly.
As you know, we are your hosts and co-hosts, AJ, Maximilian, and Francesco.
Yeah. So first of all, there's like one question and that AJ always asks to everybody in the school is, why do you want to be an entrepreneur?
What is your purpose
What
in
is
life?
your purpose? So before starting out with your part, I think the most important thing is this really what you want to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Why you're doing this? And when you discover why you're doing this, then why you want to do that? And then why you want to do that?
It's a constant
Yeah.
X's of why. You go why until you really hit the root.
Yeah, know your why.
That's what they mean by know your why first.
Yeah.
Oh, if you ever hit the root.
If you ever hit the root, that's also a thing. And usually the most core thing you can't really express
Yeah.
in like verbal communication. You can only just feel it. But I think a good way to let the viewers know a little bit about it is if you give a short like a story or a description of how you found your why, or if you even found it yet,
Oh yeah.
because it's a process.
It's true that like many people actually struggle to find that, and that's why we're doing this podcast. So actually, my start and my why became clear only very recently this year. And when we started, actually, we joined the school here. It actually enabled to dive and delve into our past. So I would say it's by going into your past and looking at the traumas that built you actually as a person and the values that you have made thus. And these are actually guiding you towards who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing things like that you've been doing your whole life.
And what are your natural preoccupations also?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So the natural preoccupations, so your hobbies, the people you hang out with.
Could you explain like what natural preoccupation like means?
So your natural preoccupation is basically what you do on a daily basis that makes you happy, for example, or that you put a lot of interest in, a lot of commitment in. Or, for example, it could be a sport. It could be a creative hobby like creating content or drawing. That's, for example, natural
Yeah.
preoccupation.
Yeah.
But I also think I want to add something to that. When we've studied the core quadrant values,
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
So that also could be a way to find your natural preoccupation. So if you know what are your core values, then you can come up with your natural preoccupations also. Because if you have, I don't know, the core value of, I can share maybe the core quadrant, how it works.
Yeah, and then they have a overview of exactly what we are talking about. And while he does that, I'll give some examples what natural preoccupations could be. For example, a short definition on my side is basically something you do all the time when you have nothing to do. Paradoxical, isn't it? But it would be for me, for example, I love listening to music. When I'm doing nothing, I'm just there listening to music and visualizing like my future state. So that's like I plan a lot, I visualize a lot. Yeah, so that's like really my natural preoccupation.
So why
That-
this?
Yeah.
Why this? This
and then why
question.
this?
And
So
then
every single
that.
time you have an answer, why is that?
Why is that? That's really important. Ask yourself questions.
Yeah.
Don't hide actually the truth or don't hide things. Even if they hurt, even if they sound unpleasing, they are who you are. So if you want to know you who you are and go further and build a business, you really have to trust yourself and what you stand for.
Yeah. So this is the core quadrant I was talking about, and mainly if you have a core quality, but this core quality needs to be also recognized by other people. Like for me, while we were doing this type of exercise, my core quality was hardworking. So the allergy. Okay, let's go with the flow. So if you go too far of hardworking, the pitfall is burning out. So the pitfall is burnout and the positive opposite would be find your balance. Okay, balance
Yeah.
between work, etc. And going too far of the balance would be laziness, and that's why me, as I have a hardworking value, I hate lazy people.
Yeah.
That's basically it. And when you like hate something or someone, you can like find that's really connected to one of your core qualities.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
100%.
this is also a way where you can find your some of your natural preoccupation.
Yeah, 100%. That's one way. A way I did it. How I found my natural preoccupation. It was one of these. So it was basically I set like I made a list of basically the things I like doing. You know, like it's constantly decompressing. So first I made a list of 20 things I'm interested in. Let me continue. So make a list of like 20 things you like doing. Just doesn't matter what. Try to make it like as specific as possible, and then constantly decompress. Like, okay, instead of the 20, make then 5, and then why those 5?
And based of that, actually, look, you have, for example, you can be an analyzer, you can be someone creative. So if you see that some, like your top 5 that you like the most are associated with an analyzer.
Yeah, with like certain, you'll see certain patterns. Like why,
Yes.
like these 5, you'll see patterns deeper inside, and
Based
yeah,
on that, you know your strength and maybe also your weaknesses. And based on that, you already know a bit more about yourself and where you could start your business. And maybe also, as we said last time at the podcast, building a team is important. So building a team based off your weaknesses can be also very, very strong.
100%, 100%. So
Yeah.
we've got that covered, right?
Yeah,
How to
first step, find your why, what you're passionate about,
Yes.
what's the market you want to go after to. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like, what market do you want to go after? And I think, again, short story, short one-liner. Why, why did you choose your market?
Well, I think basically, like, I would say
Like, what is your why to get in the market?
my why is actually to build things that are greater and have a purpose and create stuff on this planet, because you can consume things and you can create stuff. And I definitely want to create things.
All right. What about you, Francesco?
yeah, like for me, it's kind of similar to Maximilian because as of start, when I was really younger, I would say that I didn't have like a huge why when I started, but
Yeah.
now it's shifting a
discover
little
it.
bit. Yeah, it's shifting a little bit to really create a good product that really helps people and get results, and also in an ethical way. Like many people ask me, why don't you have a course? Why don't you start your own course for agencies? And but for me, it's not ethical somehow, because I don't think that's like based on the market now. People say to you, yeah, get 10K a month in 3 months in the first month, but everybody knows that's not doable.
Do you think? Do you
with
think?
the course, just with the course? I'm
Yeah. Do you
talking
think
about.
those are just scams for the viewer? Because I know I've come across these things like, oh, 10K
Yeah.
in a month if you follow this course.
Ah, yes.
Are those scams since you're from that space?
Yeah, so I think the course could provide some value, but what they're promising is completely like off the reality. And it's not just me that I'm talking about. You maybe think, yeah, because maybe you didn't get good results, etc. That you wanted as fast as possible, but
If I can interrupt, you said how many courses did you buy and how much money was
I
it?
think I've spent something like 25K.
Yeah, so he
25K.
has experience and he knows
Yeah.
what he's talking about. That some of them are scams.
Yeah, some of them are scams, like complete scams. A lot of value you can find for free, etc. But yeah, I don't know. For what they're promising, yeah, that's the problem with me. I think only one course can cover it. Also, with the mentorship, can cover everything. That's why, yeah. Also, talking with other agency owners, we always find this thing like you just need to be proactive and really search for everything, what's missing there, etc. Not just applying like a robot what's
Yeah.
there.
I think we forgot one thing for the new viewers. What exactly is your market?
It's travel industry.
So he's in the capsule hotel industry.
Yes, accommodation.
Yeah, and I'm in the e-commerce marketing space. I have an agency in the space. And yeah, and one last thing I wanted to add upon the courses thing is that 99% of people sell courses don't actually do what they're saying. So what they're selling, in the sense that there are people who don't have agencies and sell courses about agencies because their main software might be info business or SaaS. I'm not talking about they don't know shit about doing business, but it's not their market. That's why I got the most amount of information just to asking for consultation to people who actually had successful agencies out there who didn't even sell courses.
Oh, so
No.
I actually wanted to ask you a question, Francesco, according to that, because I feel like our viewers are also keen on building their experience and building new experience, so buy courses. So how do you actually find the right course for you?
Yeah,
If
I think
it's-
first of all, when people are selling lifestyles, it's not a good sign.
Okay.
Then I would say when people only post short form content and don't give a lot of value for free on YouTube, it's not a good sign.
Red
If
flags.
yeah, exactly, red flags. And if they don't have a lot of naturally real case studies. So what you want to do, like when they have student interview, search for the name of the guy, scan them what they're doing, etc., and then check if they're really doing what they say it's needed to do in the course.
Yeah. All right.
Well, there we have our answer.
Yeah. Yeah, my why. I am it's like my why is one of those things, as I said, you can only feel it. It's hard to express in just normal words. But like my entrepreneurial type is also just like a player. So I don't go for businesses that are like, oh, that's my passion. You know, so there are different types of entrepreneurs. I go for businesses where it's just like, okay, this can actually make money. This can be profitable. There's an opportunity. We can go in there.
How do you make
Because
those
his passion
opportunities?
is just a game, and that's also for me. He loves the game, AJ.
Yeah,
That's
entrepreneurship
why
is a game.
like his passion is not like, I don't know, golfing. Then he started like something golfing.
Yeah.
It's like entrepreneurship. So he wants to learn everything about it.
It doesn't
and-
matter what it is. It could be in I don't know. It could be in Barbie dolls. If there's an opportunity in the market in Africa somewhere or in Asia, in a specific city, I'm like, okay. And if it's viable, yeah, let's do it. I'll learn everything about Barbie dolls. How do you make it? You know, what is attractive, the psychological aspect, and just go. So yeah.
So you actually take whatever you like and you try to find opportunities around that. But that comes then. How does it come?
No, not
Because-
not what I like. It doesn't matter what it is. For example, the industry that I'm in right now, it's money laundering, or well, anti-money laundering. So yeah, so let me explain a little bit my company, what it's doing. It's creating a software to enforce anti-money laundering regulations in casinos and financial institutes. How do you come upon that? It's not like something, oh yeah, I like money laundering, so I'm gonna do this, or I don't like money laundering. It's more like there's an opportunity there, and you just take it or you don't. You know, you gotta assess which opportunities do you want to take. That's something I always learned. The first opportunity is not always the best opportunity. If we're talking about which business should you do, advice that I got given from an entrepreneur was it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take a couple years or maybe a year, a half a year. Research these businesses. Think like, oh, I think this is a good idea. Then you start researching, creating a financial overview, knowing what it's gonna cost, knowing like what type of business is it, what are the resources you need, a business plan, and then
First
you
of
have a good
all,
overview.
validate the idea. Most important thing.
That also, and then you know put like, and you do it for like 3-4 businesses that you think might work, and then you look, okay, which ones are feasible? Which ones do you think
Yeah.
you really want to do, and also that is, you know, feasible, as in financially feasible. Because if something is a startup of $2 million and you're a starting entrepreneur, it's hard to find that $2 million. I'm not saying it's impossible.
That's why you do agile working.
Yeah.
Agile working
Agile
is
work.
like a lean process for not doing a waterfall approach. So not just putting a lot of money into it. If you have an idea, what you want to do if you have an idea is, okay, what problem do you want to solve? First of all, because you also always need to come up with a problem. And then you do it agile. So you start like interviewing people, doing quiz, etc., to validate your product, your idea, and maybe pivot a little bit. When I talk about pivoting, it's like shifting a little bit the idea with a customer-centric approach. So like the customer is like the most important thing in your business, so you really want to address their pain points, etc. So the best way to do it is really knowing your market and then shifting towards it in the fastest ways possible. And this is really also an advantage compared to like big organizations where they cannot actually pivot this fast because they have big teams, etc.
Big corporations,
That's
yeah.
why at the start it's really important. Then when you find a market, really try to test it and recognize the pain points, and then do like also what AJ said. Okay, it's viable on a financial point of view. What is going to be the prices, the costs, etc. What's the market look like?
What are the pitfalls of the business? You know,
Exactly, the pitfalls, and then how can you come up with new strengths for, you know?
Yeah. To give an example, it could be a very good opportunity, but it's labor intensive. That means you're just gonna keep working. Like for example, the chicken industry in Suriname, right? So like, or the egg industry, I don't know what you call it. Like it's very labor intensive. You'll make money. You'll make like 2,000 euros a day, but you have to be working like 15, 16 hours, not with your mind, no, actual physical work. Of course, there are ways to automate it now, but if we're looking traditional, as I just mentioned in Suriname, it's just laborious, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to check. So there are cash intensive businesses. Those are like casinos. You have labor intensive, as I just mentioned. You have risk intensive businesses.
Like most of startups
Most
in
startups.
energy space.
Energy space, or like what I mean by risk intensive is like it has the chance of it failing and or like something happening is super high.
Basically Starship.
No. So basically what?
Basically doing rockets. That's for
Yeah.
example.
Also rockets,
Yeah.
but also like in the legal industry, for example, you know, or catering to the legal industry. Yeah, it's just very risky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is important. So as we talked about a lot of stuff, let's do a little recap.
Yeah.
So first of all, find your why. What are your natural preoccupations, and what you want to do in life in
Yeah.
general. Are you really going to start in entrepreneurship game? It's a really tough game. There's a lot of competition, and 99% of people fail.
Yep.
The second thing we cover is then find your market, validate your idea, come up with a business plan and everything for the financial costs, and start to take calculated risk, as we covered on the last episode.
Yeah.
I want to cover like a quote.
Yeah.
No, I think we're gonna do it at the end of the
At
video.
the end of the video,
'Cause there's a
it's
quote about. So there was like these quiz for applying to a university, who asked me why you want to get into the startup world, and then I answered with a good quote.
With a good quote.
Can I read it now?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You can make another quota at the end. Yeah. So at the end we have this little segment, you know, just last words, and we just do a short quote on
That's-
our own
The
selves.
short quote of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tradition now.
So the quote is, "I know no better life purpose than to perish attempting the great and seemingly impossible. The fact that something seems impossible should not be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and the greatness be if success were certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges." Friedrich Nietzsche.
Yeah, no, that's super interesting,
Deep,
honestly, because yeah, no, I think a lot of successful entrepreneurs have that type of mentality. You know, like
Yes.
it's you're gonna fail, 100%.
You are.
Every day as an entrepreneur,
You're failing.
at something
You are.
Yeah.
and improving. But that's the thing. You gotta have that hunger and hunger really to say like, I see that as an impossible thing. I'm gonna make it possible.
I would say it's like a bit like being a phoenix then. Like
A
you
phoenix?
fail, you die maybe out of what you just, you know, you worked hard for something and you failed. but then you come amidst the ashes, and
The
you come
phoenix
back
rises
stronger.
from the ashes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
But now let's proceed with the
Let's proceed with the
yeah.
third step. So we have why and
finding the market,
finding the market.
And then basically executing it.
executing it. Okay. Before starting executing it, once you've like validated the pain points, etc., you also need to validate the product itself, because what you've done before is validating the pain points.
The value proposition.
Yeah, exactly. You need to create value proposition.
What is a value
business
proposition
profit
for-
canvas, and one thing you need to do is having an MVP,
Yeah.
so a minimum viable product for your idea, and then start to running some tests on it. So like I don't know,
How
I,
can we?
I thought about like a waiting list or something like that, so that you don't even need to actually develop the software or everything to in order to validate the idea even further.
No, 100%. It's different per industry, or let's say,
Yeah.
or market.
You can do
Sorry,
like pre-order,
business
and
concept.
something else.
Yeah, different per industry. Because for example, in the software world, it's you go like first prototyping, and then you go MVP, and then
Yeah.
after all that, then it like exceeded everything. Okay, then you can actually throw money at it.
You don't need something perfect to go into the market.
No, 100%. You
And
don't.
it should be actually your first prototype should look ugly. Otherwise,
It
you
should
spend
look
too much time on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it looks good, it's bad.
Exactly.
It's bad.
Yeah. And then you just go to the market. And when it comes to going to the market, there are like multiple ways based also on your industry. And I think the best way to come up with a marketing plan, so to go into the market, would be really knowing deeply your customers. So
Yeah, talk to them.
talk to them
Absolutely.
because once you've done all the validating, etc., okay, who's your target customer, who's your market, and really what they do, where do they spend their time, what they hear, what they see, what they think,
What they feel.
and what they feel.
yeah.
That's most
That's when you uncover their authentic pain points.
Customer needs to be understood.
Yeah.
You don't need to
100%.
sell him. You just need to make him understand that you feel him.
Yeah.
That you propose a value proposition. That was the question. What is a value proposition? It's basically when the value in itself of the product matches to what the customer actually needs. And the biggest value proposition is that. It's that you feel the customer and you do a product that is actually solving the pain points that the customer is feeling in this industry.
100%. Yeah.
100%. And
All right.
then hiring and scaling.
Scaling, the
Hiring and
the fun
firing.
stuff, or actually not even that. More the operational day, like when you're already.
Yeah.
Say you've already created a company.
Oh,
Now you're
okay.
doing operations. Like
Yeah, I think one thing that should be done is the steps. So once you have an idea, another thing is okay. So I have this goal, big goal, and now what I do. So break down the big
Breakdown.
goal
I-
in smaller steps.
I think what you're trying to say is
Yeah.
the methodology of how
Yeah,
you should do
exactly.
these things.
Maybe show the our empathy map.
empathy map.
Yeah, that's how actually.
While they're
basically
doing that.
do the
So
steps.
there are different methodologies or methods to doing certain stuff. Like and usually they're very common in the business world. Like for example, in financial, it's like okay, you need to make an investment plan and a exploitation plan, which is basically just monthly costs. And then you have different types of, I would say, canvases or like tables, ways to find what you need. You can also do, for example, a step plan. That's what I always make. I think every single week I make a step plan on if I feel lost. When I feel lost, I'm like, I need to make a step plan. What is next? So I'm here. I need to get here by the end of the week or end of the month. Okay, what are the steps I need to be taken to get there? If I feel lost,
That's how
and
you
that
basically
creates
do it.
clarity. Definitely for me.
So
And,
the
yeah.
effectuator's roadmap. So you have the sun. That's your ultimate goal. Let's say in 3 years, in 5 years, your ultimate goal that you want to have with your company. And there you see the little guy. That's where you are now.
This is
And
you.
This is you right now. And you have a whole way till this big goal. So what you're going to do is put this 1 year goal and then imagine in steps what you're going to do and retrace your steps back.
Do you want to maybe stand up and like show them exactly where things should be? What
Yeah,
exactly
I
they
can talk
mean.
because you're
Oh yeah, sure.
far away from
yeah.
the mic. Yeah. Okay. So like,
your 1 year goal?
yeah, there's 1 year goal, and then there you have the road to it. So break down the long term goal into different steps. And the first steps that are gonna be there is like the upcoming month goal that you need to achieve for yourself. Yeah, it's really important. And then here, what you wanna add is the value drivers. So what your business do? What are the value that it provides?
The value proposition.
Exactly, value proposition, the USP of your company, your business.
Unique
Then,
selling point.
Yeah. That are actually going to lead you towards the
Yeah,
1 year goal.
exactly. And then on the right, you want to add lemons. So what are things that are holding you back from achieving the goals? And on the left side, you want to add the bird in heads, the bird in end. So basically,
The things that,
you already have.
well, yeah, the birds in hand, right? The things you already have, but also just the things that will make this idea possible.
That you have actually
basically,
now.
yeah, basically the things that raise the success, the chance of success of getting your goal.
So if you have, for example, a partner that is exactly suited as a, for example, a big supplier and he's organizing all of that and you really need that for your business, that's a bird in hand.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yeah, you can see it in. Oh, what happened? Okay, you can see it in different ways, but the challenge is to basically the lemons. You have to try. Yeah, you have to. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You have to transfer the lemons. So all the just write down all the lemons you have and transfer them. The point is to transfer the lemons into birds in hands.
Exactly.
And so to have like a long list of birds in hands and non-existent lemons.
Solve these problems at all costs.
Solving problems is the main job.
It's your main job as an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur,
That's
you
what
solve
do.
problems.
The whole
That's
fucking day,
all
every
day.
day. But thing is, you're learning constantly too, because the more problems you solve, the more you learn.
Yeah, so get used to.
So get used to
Stop
it.
crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And thing is, you can compare it to like different things. Like for example, a SWOT analysis. That's where you list your strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities of something.
You can use ChatGPT for it.
You can also use ChatGPT for it, to make it a bit easier on yourself.
Yeah.
Not to create it, but to like how do you say it? Like not to
Recognize something.
Yes, they can recognize the patterns. So for example, you would derive tactics and strategies from that SWOT analysis, and that would help you in your business.
Yeah, a lot. I did like AJ told me to do one for the agency, and yeah, my strategy shifted a little bit, and it was really, really good.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like I think I was just we were outside, and I started talking about a SWOT analysis, and then he's looking at me. He's like, "What is a SWOT?" I'm like, "You don't know what a SWOT is, really?" Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And then I
like,
explained.
I didn't know the word in English also.
Yeah. So I explained to him what it is, and then
What
his
is it?
strategy actually changed. Huh?
Let's explain our viewers. What is the SWOT analysis?
What is a SWOT analysis? As I just mentioned, can you pull up like a SWOT analysis? Just
Yeah.
so it's like S stands for strengths, W stands for weakness, opportunities. Oh no, O stands for opportunities, and T stands for threats. So yeah, there it is. Basically, you could use this for anything in your life. Honestly, you could use it for the podcast, for example. This you could use it for your personal life,
Your relationship.
your relationships. You could. It's more a concept or a methodology to use. To make a decision. It's very good for that. For example, I use a SWOT analysis for deciding on which partnerships I want to continue with or not do. And this gives you a very clear overview on what's going to happen, or what's going to happen if I do this, what's going to happen if I do this. So yes, very, very good. I think he's and you could use it also for business opportunities or just in your business itself. So it's a very good framework, and I think you can find it in every single business textbook ever. It's like fundamentals. There you go. Create a SWOT analysis for a podcast about business and entrepreneurship for young people. Then develop. What was the last part? Then develop.
Strategies and tactics based on that.
Yeah, develop and derive.
Yeah, usually like you want to do it much more like when it comes to the prompt, much more in detail, really already talking about your strengths, your
Yeah, you have to
weaknesses,
fill
etc.
in your strengths itself, like of
Yeah, now it
current
was
thing.
like just to show you like how easy it is also using AI to create something like that, and then to create a strategy based on that.
Yeah, if you don't know what to do, go and ask ChatGPT.
Strategies and tactics, and yeah.
Build an online community, create a dedicated community on social media platforms to foster discussions among young entrepreneurs. Wow, isn't that what we are doing? So yeah, it's really good. And honestly, but there is a requirement for it as everything, and I think the entirety of entrepreneurship lays on that, and it is honesty with yourself, congruency with yourself, and seeing the truth for what it is, if it's bad or good. And a lot of people
And taking responsibility.
take responsibility.
Because
And
you're the entrepreneur. So
Yeah.
you're responsible of the success, but also of the failures. And you're also responsible of not recognizing, of not being congruent and not being honest with yourself. Because you're the entrepreneur. You need to be honest with yourself. If not, you're not gonna
you're not going to
achieve your
see the
goals.
actual
Yeah.
risk in hand because you're just blind. You're blinding yourself. So for the SWOT analysis to work, you can't have like 20 strengths but like one weakness.
Yeah.
You're just not being truthful with yourself. So a common rule of thumb for the SWOT analysis is like put down 20 per 20 strengths, 20 weaknesses, 20 opportunities, and
20 trends.
20 threats, and then that's gonna make your mind work to try and find these things.
200 trends.
And and it has to be almost an imbalance. There has to be more weaknesses. There has to be more threats than the good ones, because then
try to turn the weaknesses into strengths.
exactly
And the threats into opportunities. Because
Exactly.
probably like if you have some threats, some weaknesses, it's really highly probable
probable, yeah.
probable that other competitors have the same as you.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why you can come up with the like if you manage to turn those threats into opportunities and those weaknesses into strengths, you're gonna have a USP product.
You're gonna excel.
You're gonna
gonna
excel.
excel.
Like
Yeah.
exactly. That's why you really need to be honest with yourself, and that's why I think it's a really famous thing, but it's really really valuable.
Not a last thing because all these points are really crucial, but as well we're talking about psychology, and everything that happens comes from your brain. So what you're feeding your brain is actually who you're surrounding yourself with. Because if you have a bad apple in amidst the other good apples, they're all going to be bad at one point or another.
Jesus Christ.
Rotten
What's
apples.
that? Jesus Christ. Maximilian.
Did you just quote Jesus Christ?
Yeah,
Christ?
Jesus Christ said you're the result of
The
of
five
your
people.
yeah.
You
of
Did
your-
Jesus Christ say that?
Yeah,
Really?
your 5 closest people
Oh, yeah.
on the Bible.
On the Bible.
Yeah, there's written.
Read the
this.
Bible then. I guess there are some little minds.
You're the result of the 5
That's pretty
people
cool.
closer to you. But we're not talking about like blacking out, like old friends, etc. We're just talking about don't take negative influence from
Yes.
them. Like it's cool. Like a lot of people say to you, yeah, if you have a friend who is not an entrepreneur, you shouldn't talk to him anymore. I don't agree with that. Like not at all, because if you like know him since you're like 3 or 4, you should love that guy.
course.
Like he's almost family with
He's
you.
just family, yeah.
And yeah, you should like also be more comprehensive of other people's choice and having the courage, the braveness to not to being influenced from
And
them.
again, it's not to feel to be congruent with yourself and don't lie to yourself. If you know you have friends that are doing bad stuff, and you perfectly know these are not the ones that are going to propel you towards the direction of doing this business type, then you know what to do.
Yeah, it hits home. It really does, yeah. And especially, I think you can all like put a collective name on it. And the entrepreneur also told me this: it's purity, purity of yourself.
Yeah.
If you can be pure, nothing can go wrong.
Mm.
Then you'll excel at everything.
And I really think that the entrepreneurship path is like the most beautiful part in life for people, because you really are going to discover yourself.
And you experience everything.
You experience, first of all, you really experience life. Also, like Nietzsche said, in every way, like up and downs, really frequent. And like a quote, like there's like this entrepreneur, Italian entrepreneur. It's like a strange guy, honestly. He's funny, but he said, "Guys, I'm so grateful that I started this entrepreneurial path. I think this was the best thing that I ever decided to do, because I think entrepreneurship is life, because you discover yourself in every different way.
You really live life to the fullest.
And also another thing they said to me is that when you're rich, money just amplifies who you truly are.
Yeah, 100%. That I 100% agree with.
You're a bad person.
I also read it in another book.
You're gonna be a villain.
yeah.
You're going to be Joker. Don't be Joker.
Yeah, it's a as you said, amplified version of yourself, 100%. So like, look at Elon Musk, right? When he was broke, for example, geek, blah, blah blah, these things, and then he got money and it amplified. Look, he's just a
Super
bigger. He's a super. I don't even know what to call him.
Like, guys, we're forgetting about the part of Elon Musk when he was a fucking playboy.
Right,
He fucking had, like,
billionaire.
Supercars, McLaren, when he sold PayPal with Amber Heard.
But he deserved it, you know.
Company.
Yeah. He had some fun, guys. He had some fun.
Yeah, didn't he build a
grew hair in the
castle or
meantime.
something, or buy a castle?
I don't know, maybe.
I think I read his biography, and it was like he bought a castle for his family to live in, and he would like but
Chill.
very chill, I know, right? And so he would have like time scheduled, like at what time he would be at his family house, and the next the next 2 hours the next 2 hours he would have to fly to whichever continent in that, have a time schedule there, and then constantly go.
Yeah, that's the life of a billionaire, I guess.
It depends who.
It depends who.
I mean, billionaires doesn't do shit.
Exactly. Look at Jeff Bezos now.
Yeah.
He's living his playboy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Building a bunker.
Building bunker.
Is he
Mark Zuckerberg is building also a bunker in
They're all
Hawaii.
building
Why are they?
now. What is happening, guys?
What is happening? What is this? Why are they building?
Yeah, I also want to build a bunker as soon as possible.
Yeah, if they're doing it, you gotta hop on that trend.
Yeah.
Why are they building bunkers? I didn't hear of this.
Yeah, man. Mark
Or your
Zuckerberg
theory, then.
bought like the biggest house purchase in the history or something, because he also had like his own water supply. What I was talking about in the last podcast.
Yeah.
And there in that place, he can live him and all his family and friends in a bunker.
I
But-
feel there's something going on here.
But why though? This has been disclosed. Probably not. But what are your theories, at least?
Well, some kind of war, some kind of big
Word,
conflicts.
no word order, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is we gotta build a bunker in the next like 5 years.
Otherwise, we're going to get nuked.
We're gonna get nuked, and
No,
we don't
I
want to
think we're
die.
gonna get nuked. But I'm more scared about new world order and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, but I think there might be a revolution. I
Like
hope
the
they're
BRICS-
gonna be
the BRICS and the Western world, right?
the new world order, like fucking
The World Economic Forum.
social
UN.
points.
Yeah.
Social credits, yeah.
Social credits.
We talked about this last time in class with Max. We were having like because my business has a direct influence for that. So the dystopian would be like picture it, you know, your 2050.
1984, guys.
Huh?
1984, the book. You've read 1984?
No.
It's the same thing that we're going up right now. So there's
Okay.
the big brother who observes everything.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So basically, you're there, and then AI almost becomes like a part of the government, right? AI becomes part of the government, and they are creating regulations in order to maximize humans or like society's performance with the combination of social credits and like negative interest.
Like
so
China.
like China, you know, and they've actually tested it as like the social credits thing like in a different country, but it did fail. But the WEF is really pushing that agenda to really have control over people's their financial life and just personal life in general. And it's either like who's gonna fight that, you know, and yeah, that's a
they're
really
Maximilian talks about revolution.
Yeah, like the civil wars happening left and right, the nationalism of our countries, especially in the Western countries, the fact that we were once great powers and now the BRICS side, Asia are coming, arising, the middle class of these countries are establishing themselves. This means a lot. This means these countries are getting more and more power. They have 53% of the petrol in the world. They have majority of the resources, especially for our sustainability movement, which is lithium, batteries, cobalt, etc. Most of these countries have this, and we don't. We don't, and we are going to maybe, take a hit from that.
scary to think about, man.
Scary.
Really.
Yeah.
On the brink of
Yeah, we
all
degenerate
chaos.
a little bit into politics now, but I think it's fine.
That's fine, yeah.
'Cause,
It's
guys, if you want to have something more about politics, just let us know. We're kind of passionate a little bit about the
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah, 100%.
What
Like,
happens
what is happening in
the
our world that-
But also,
Yeah.
like, depending on like where and how and which business
Yes.
entrepreneur has a lot to do with
talking
politics.
to opportunities.
Yeah, but not only like in a regulatory side, but also on the opportunity side, as you just mentioned. You know, like collaborating with politicians, making stuff happen. you
That's
know.
why like that would be easy like to also follow the agenda, you know, and maybe get more financing.
Yeah,
But
100%.
like for me, like I would never do that. Like if I don't agree with some points of the agenda, I wouldn't follow them. Like I am not into like protein coming from insects and all the kind of stuff. I'm really not into that.
Our government's
yeah.
pushing that.
Yeah, you know that
Like fake meat.
fake
Fake
meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fake meat, all the kind of stuff. And I'm really glad that Italy has been the first country in the world to abolish fake food. Like
Oh.
OGM, fake meat, everything is. You
Oh,
cannot
really
buy
good.
that there.
Does it coincide with nationalism? Maybe.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
right now there's
We're going back to the Max's point.
right, but that's good nationalism, I think,
That's
because
good
they
one.
want also
Protective measures.
yeah, and also they want to preserve the fact that Italian food is good,
Mm.
and
Absolutely.
yeah,
Don't put fakeness in it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, especially in my business, like we have to, have a partnership with the government because they're providing regulations that we have to oblige to. So there's almost no way out of this, for me. It's either
Yeah.
I abandon the business or we collectively, like the whole, all the companies together, which is almost not likely because there's so many. There are like to limit which regulations we put and which regulations we don't, based off of just ethicalness. But there is always going to be another company that will do it, and they'll choose them.
Competition, free market.
Exactly,
So
and
it
then
happens.
these companies who are trying to limit because of ethicalness will go bankrupt. It's not.
That's a tough.
That's tough
question.
decision,
Yeah.
but I think that it depends. It depends a lot, but yeah, could be. I don't know.
We don't know the
Um,
future, guys.
Yeah, we don't know
That's
the
Yeah, no,
future.
no,
but
no, definitely,
yeah,
no.
You then
This,
need
this is
to-
again dystopian.
It's dystopian.
Yeah, because then if there's a revolution, then the other guy goes bankrupt.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like a what if scenario.
If then like exactly, and we cannot talk about if and probabilities here, but like I don't know if they actually let people know how bad it is, like highly processed food to everyone. I think fucking like companies like Hawaii food or that kind of stuff
Yeah.
will go bankrupt.
They would. And they have so much more power than actually we think with lobbyists and etc. They're so established that, for example, companies that own shares like BlackRock, those companies, if they are going to fail, this is literally our society that is going to fail with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're so much dependent now because of this liberalism, economical liberalism. So if we start civil wars, as we say, bunkers and all of that, maybe there's a connection with that, because if there's revolution going through from the population itself, then big companies like that are literally holding the strings of actually economies may cause a big crash, unprecedented crash
And then from crash, there's only
going up. The
there's
phoenix.
only going up.
The phoenix.
the phoenix rises from the
Exactly.
ashes. Yeah.
Yeah,
should
and
actually
right
put a
now
phoenix
we're
in.
in a blue.
in blue.
And then the rationality space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the nationality space.
Maybe you should pull up the Zeitgeist model.
yeah.
Yeah. So the Zeitgeist model is basically a what?
The economic cycles.
Well, it's not as you mentioned. It's not
Not only
correlated with the
Yes.
economic cycles, but you can see some patterns from it. So basically, what the Zeitgeist model is,
Exactly.
yeah,
This
it's that one. No,
No,
the other one.
This one is perfect.
Is it? No, but
Yeah.
that's the.
Mm-hmm.
This is Russian word. Yeah.
All right, sure.
So-
No, but with the others, you could explain like with the 50s of what happened. You know.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, but this one is only that picture. So
Okay. Anyway, so basically, what is this, right? What are you looking at? So this is like a model you could use to almost
Recognize
see,
trends.
see, and like where and what period are we in right now?
social cycles, basically.
What is happening? Yeah.
What
so
has happened?
yeah, to recognize in what period are we in right now. And yeah, so for example, in the yellow one, so the yellow color is more emotional, so as you said, emotional world. So we're talking food that is
2010.
emotional, feeling good, pleasure.
Meditation, practical.
Yeah, pleasure, those types of
yoga,
things. So that
avocado.
avocados, and so that would be in
2010.
2010s. You know, the 2010 to like till now a little bit, but right now we are going in like a shift to more rational world. The rational world is basically if you're thinking, we're thinking experts. You know, thinking science. We're
Yeah.
thinking what's it called?
Our planet is going to die, so maybe let's do something against it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
and,
like
world.
traceability, transparency,
Data.
metrics. You can see,
Metrics,
you can
yeah.
see. So what this is like you're proving that we're actually helping the country.
And that's what
sorry,
you can
the
also
planet.
recognize into like marketing campaigns of big brands. It's
Yeah.
all the different cycles.
Yeah. So let me continue explaining what the colors mean. So the red one means like freedom, change, stuff like
Dynamic
that.
word, yeah.
Dynamic world. And the green one is more going back to roots, going back to tradition. And
the
Yeah.
Italians, right?
Yeah.
So no, so like that one, the red one was the 90s with the revolution of the digital era, etc. Then we had the crash and we got back to our roots
yeah.
in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And then we shifted to the feeling good of the 2010s, and then we're gonna get back there to a rational world.
I think if you can you pull up the other picture please? Because I feel like it's much better, at least for me, you know, having something to look at. Yeah. So this would be from 2000. But if you would picture it back to really emphasize this model, you know, the patterns, the yellow
40s.
one, yeah, the red one would be 40s. 40s, you know,
War.
World War II, a lot of change. Usually there's always a big crisis between red and going back to green,
Yeah.
because there needs to be a big crisis to come back to
Always.
tradition, you know?
Always.
So you have a lot of freedom, blah, blah, blah. Crashes, goes back to
50s.
the 50s. And the 50s is where everyone, you know, the nuclear family was there. You go back to your roots. There was a clear gender roles.
American dream.
The American
Yeah, the
dream.
gender.
Yeah.
And then you have the baby
Yellow.
boom.
Baby boomers.
Yeah.
The baby boomers. That's when they started coming.
60s. That's
The 60s and 70s.
Yeah,
the
60s,
hippies,
70s.
basically.
So that would be like, you know, the hippies, the hippie movements, peace and love and tranquility and
Yeah.
All good.
a lot of drugs.
Basically, not today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And-
Woodstock Festival.
Yeah. And then you go to blue. Then we're going to the 80s. As you guys know, like the Wall Street Journal. Or so this would be the 80s, money, sex, drugs,
Yeah.
basically. So it's making a lot of money and it's blowing a lot of money and being rich.
Not
Stuff
very
like that.
rational, if we can say.
No, but that's what it was.
But
Yeah, but it was
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
That's
like
what it was.
career
It's
was
different.
really important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Career is very important. So you're just, it's different for every, I would say, I don't know, would you say model, generation?
Mm.
You know, basically that. And now we're going back to now. The 2000s was after the .com crash, right?
Yep.
If I'm
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
Then we went back to green. Then right now the 2010s, that's the feel good experience. Then now you have the hipsters. It's a different name now. Same thing, you know, as we just mentioned. And then we're going to the blue. So it's a very good opportunity
Aren't
for
we
your
already in
businesses.
blue?
Yeah,
Well, we're transitioning.
yeah. Like some countries are like still in the
Still in the
my
yellow.
opinion.
It
depends on the people.
It's transferring. It's
Yeah,
gonna
and
take another 2-3 years.
This is really valuable. Also, if you're starting a business right now, So if you want to have a long-term vision, maybe focus on the freedom side, dynamic world, etc. If you want to do something even quicker, focus on the rationality business. So basic, so some business based on some science, experts, and all that kind of stuff. This is something you can leverage whenever they want. You can say that these cycles like shift every like from 10 to 15 years usually, but it depends. And yeah, so this is a really nice thing that you can leverage.
Yeah, 100%. You know,
With your
the
business.
artificial intelligence revolution. You can really see it, but you know, I'm curious as to what the crisis is going to be. To go back,
Comes
Yeah.
out to human psychology, I guess. It's always about this. When humans
Yeah.
feel threatened or feel they are being compressed, then yeah, civil wars.
Maybe that's the build up to red, you know, and then
Yeah.
oh, okay. So
Well,
we're just gonna have to wait and see at that point if we're just be prepared.
be prepared.
Yeah.
So
Did we cover all?
Shit, we talked for 54 minutes.
yeah.
Is it already 54 minutes?
So I think we can wrap it up.
We are gonna wrap it up then.
Yep.
I think.
Well,
Did we cover all the points?
So we mainly covered.
I think the first
why.
part, yeah.
Yeah, it's the first part, I guess, for this.
For the
episode.
starters.
This was
Yeah.
more the technical aspect of it, and of entrepreneur
Yeah.
side, but you still have, of course, the mindset. You know,
yeah, we'll for sure do one video about it.
yeah, on
Yeah.
mindset,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
how to create like such a mindset, definitely. So yeah, I think we can wrap it up,
Wow.
guys. This was a
That was
very
useful.
Yeah.
yeah. Hopes this was very useful. You know, if there's anything you want us to talk about, comment or whatever, really reach out to us. Yeah, and hope
Here
you
to
enjoyed.
help for free.
We're here to help for free, not
free
the-
value.
not those scams.
We're not gurus, guys.
Exactly. So I think we can wrap it up with a end quote, a short quote, whatever you want.
Don't let others give you an image of yourself that is not you. Find it yourself and then commit to it.
All right. What about you?
I would just go with a simple one. Everything is possible. Don't trust your limiting beliefs.
That's really good.
Mm.
My quote for today is: average is the enemy, success is your destiny, and your responsibility.
All right. I'll give another because for the sake of it.
No. That's
Next
it.
time.
Use it down next time. All right, everybody. And then
Thanks
I
for
wish you
watching.
Thank you very
a
much.
good day, and we'll see you.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.